Pauline Hamill, and I am the project coordinator for Mass in Motion New Bedford and Mass in Motion Kids. And I'm very excited about this morning as we unveil our new sign that denotes our Victory Park Children's Garden. And I want to talk a little bit about that, but I would love to unveil that first. So I'm going to call Shoshana and Terry up here just to take this drape off so we can see the sign. Drum roll, please. Ready? Yay! Beautiful. Now you can take that away, and we'll keep going here. All right. The Victory Park Children's Garden is a culmination of a truly tremendous collaborative effort between Mass in Motion, New Bedford, obviously Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Foundation, who funded much of this project, the City of New Bedford, UMass, Dartmouth Sustainability Initiative, and of course Trips for Kids New Bedford. The grant was applied for because we felt that we wanted to continue and expand on what we had been doing with Mass in Motion over the last 3.5 years. We, as you know, have worked on projects like Safe Routes to Schools. We've worked on school wellness policies, and of course our Healthy Dining New Bedford initiative, and among other things. And at this point, we really wanted to get into healthy eating in terms of the gardens. And we chose Trips for Kids because they are the perfect entity to support physical activity through their cycling program, but also it's all about empowerment and community and bringing kids from New Bedford together. So we contacted Trips for Kids, and I think at this point we are going to continue our work. We would like to thank all the organizations I've just mentioned, certainly the City of New Bedford, Mayor Mitchell, the Office of Housing and Community Development, Pat Sullivan, and Sandy Perez is here today. But I want to mention also Christina Connolly, who works in the mayor's office, who was very, very supportive and a real garden supporter. Also, personal thanks to Chance Perks, who has been awesome as our project coordinator for the garden. I don't know what we'd do without his knowledge. We pulled this off pretty quickly as of June 1st, and as you all know, it was a very hot summer. Continues to be pretty hot, and it is thriving. We are very, very excited about that. I also would like to thank Mr. Fred Dabney from Quonset Nurseries, who donated many of the plants. I think I heard something like 350 plants and seedlings, and we really, really appreciate that. So, without further ado, I would really like to introduce our guest. Just so you know, today we will have Mayor Mitchell speaking, followed by Mr. Mike Devlin from Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Foundation. Councilman Joe Lopes was unable to come today, but sends his best for this event. Also, Judy Foley from Health Resources in Action from Boston was unable to come, but she also sends good greetings and good wishes. Joanne Tashen will be speaking afterwards for Trips for Kids and Chance, and of course, the kids. The kids have really made this happen, and we are thrilled to be celebrating this launch today. So, Mayor Mitchell. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I hold them together? Taylor, is this going to cause feedback? Or, all right, very good. So I'll do it this way. Well, this is a very exciting occasion for me as mayor, and a great program to support. Let me just share with you a couple of thoughts about what strikes me about this. One thing that strikes me about it is these gardens like this used to be all over the city. You know, before our time, kids, but well before we were born. They were places where people came together and worked hard and built neighborhoods, and this is more of the same. This is really a resurgence of something that worked very well here in New Bedford and cities across the United States. What's interesting now about this, as Pauline hit on, is that it promotes healthy living and good nutritional habits at a time when childhood obesity around the country is exploding. We've had our issues in that way here in New Bedford, and so it's a win-win-win. Better nutrition. It brings kids together, teaches them horticultural skills, and most importantly, it cultivates teamwork and hard work, and they have something to show for it at the end. They have a tangible product at the end that not only can they be proud of, but also share with other people. So in that way, to me, this is the kind of things. These are the kinds of things that we should be supporting as a city and as a community. It's been a great summer. All the sun is terrific for the tomatoes, and so we have. And we're very proud, most of all, for all the work that these young folks have done in making a successful garden. It doesn't look like any deer are going to get in here. It doesn't look like there are any weeds. It looks like it's a perfect garden. That's a tribute to your hard work. So I won't go through the list of people to thank here, but there are a couple that I really wanted to highlight. First is Pauline Hamill, who as the head, the project director of Mass in Motion here in New Bedford, has done a fantastic job in really changing the way that we think about healthy living when it comes to nutrition and exercise and outdoor activity and avoiding bad habits. I mean, she has really sort of elevated our game and has really caused us to think about some of the bad, speaking for myself, about some of the bad habits we have when it comes to, especially to nutrition. So Pauline, this is great, and your work, I think, with this project and all the other things that you're doing for us will really benefit the city for many, many years, and in the case of children, for their entire lives. And so we really appreciate everything that you're doing. I also wanted to thank Mike Devlin and his colleagues from the Harvard Pilgrim Foundation, the Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Foundation, for their generosity in supporting this effort. They are about to present the city with a $10,000 check to support this project, and they recognize both the need for this type of project, but also the potential. And they are Harvard Pilgrim in supporting this project as being a terrific corporate citizen and promoting something that Harvard Pilgrim supports as part of its business model, and that is healthy living, avoiding bad habits, and living a healthier lifestyle. So thank you, Mike, and thank you all for all of your support. We really appreciate it. And let me just thank also Pat Sullivan from the Office of Housing and Community Development. Pat does projects all over the city of enormous variety, and there are many people to thank, including Christina, for all their hard work and shepherding these things through. But Pat's a jack of all trades when it comes to gardens and basketball courts and splash pads and all kinds of stuff that you see springing up all over the city. It's Pat that's driving those things. So, Pat, we really appreciate all you do. So with that, I think now's the time to, and also let me give a shout out to Trips for Kids too. I don't want to go through the whole list because Pauline has done so already. But thanks, guys, for your work, your contribution here. It counts for a lot. So with that, let me call up Mike Devlin and Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare for their remarks and their presentation of the check.
Mike, stay right here. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good morning. My name's Mike Devlin, and I work at Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Foundation. I'm here with my colleagues, Elaine Wilson and Jim Tolner from Harvard Pilgrim, and we are so happy to be investing in this project here. It's all about building healthy communities, and New Bedford totally gets it. And it's with the leadership of the mayor, Pauline Hamill, Trips for Kids, and so many others of you that make this thing work. So we couldn't be happier to be an investor in this particular project, and we hope that you'll keep it up for years to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. One of these days, I want to have a great big pen to endorse these great big checks. It's only appropriate. But thanks, guys. Thank you so much for supporting this. It really counts for a lot here. Thank you.
Happy to do it.
All right. So Pauline, as the hostess.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And we are
Thank you.
really, really grateful to Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare for this generosity. And thank you, Mayor Mitchell, for those kind words. I neglected in my haste to acknowledge my own team, and I want to make sure that I say a special thank you to the Mass Emotion team. Kim Ferreira, our registered dietitian, who has done a lot of work with the learning modules and the curriculum to teach the Trips for Kids participants about vegetables and preparation and making healthy snacks and how to chop vegetables safely. Also, I'd like to thank Rob Valois, who is our Mass Emotion intern from UMass Boston. Rob did a lot of work in this garden with Chance, and you're seeing fencing and weeding and so on that has done through a very hot summer. So thank you, Rob, and also Taylor Gagnon, who has been our community liaison. She was allowed to do a soda-free challenge every week with the various groups of students, and so we have a lot of surveys and pledges that were signed by the students, hoping to, if not eliminate, at least reduce sugar-sweetened beverages in their diet. So again, thanks to the Mass Emotion team. And now I would like to introduce Joanne. Would you like to come up? Joanne Shane from Trips for Kids.
Thank you so much. Thanks to each and every one of you that's here. If you're here, you have supported and are supporting our work with City Youth in some way, and we are hugely grateful. What we have here is a small garden with a huge impact. And for those of us who are interested in healthy lifestyles, kids are riding their bikes willingly, enthusiastically, every single day from our base site over the Victory Park Warming House to this site before they head off on their adventure through the city and come here and enthusiastically work in the garden. And believe it or not, go back to the warming house and have cucumbers instead of chips. I mean it. They're cutting up cucumbers with balsamic vinaigrette, and they're saying, isn't there any more? Well, we have to wait till the harvest, till tomorrow, to get some more cucumbers. They're making vegetable kebabs with the cherry tomatoes that you see there, and pieces of low-fat cheese, and putting them on skewers with tips of basil that Fred Dabney so graciously told us was the best crop around. And tasting new herbs, and it's just, we thought that the kids, because they asked for this several years ago, and we've been trying to make it happen. Thank you so much to Pauline and the Mass Emotion crew and Harvard Pilgrim for supporting this. And there have been many, many people in this community supporting this who couldn't be here today. Ron LaBelle from the city, he's talk about a can-do guy. He's Pat's colleague in the can-do department. Not only can he do whatever we need done, he gets it done and quickly. So we're grateful to everybody. We're proud as punch of these kids who are riding their bikes, being healthy, and eating cucumbers instead of chips. So thanks to all of you for making that happen.
And a special thank you to Bernadette, too, for keeping that enthusiasm going every week. Bernadette Souza. I'd just like to introduce Chance Perks, Mr. Chancery Perks, and have him say a few words since he puts blood, sweat, and tears into this garden this summer.
Good morning. I'm absolutely ecstatic to be here. This is a lot larger of an event than I anticipated. Much like Mr. Mitchell said, we're cultivating more than just vegetables here. Just the community involvement here and the support that we've been getting. The inquiries about what's going to happen next. You know, these things are, to me, the real payment for how this happens. What these students have gotten out of it, what I've gotten out of it, the things that we think we know and we learn further and deeper into, that's what gardens do for us. I think that's what gardens can do for each individual one of us. And so with that, there's not much more to say than, you know, let's get our hands dirty and learn what the earth has to teach us. I think there's a lot of things that kind of go unsaid that we should kind of pay attention to. And you know, these folks here have done a great job in the day-to-day stuff, from harvesting. You know, it's one thing to put the plant in the ground and make sure everything grows, but then to come back here on the daily basis to harvest things, it's done very well by these students here. As you can see, not too many weeds. Things have been going very well despite the crazy weather. Again, thanks to the city for being very prompt with the water. That was very huge. That's not something to be underestimated, especially on a strip of land like this that doesn't necessarily grow too much by way of crops. Getting the water in here, having the New Bedford folks help us out, that was a big deal. So again, thank you for that. There was two individuals that specifically did a phenomenal job. It was Nefertari and Shoshana. You girls want to come up here and say hello? Yeah, just take one of these and just say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, these two girls have done a wonderful job and making sure that the day-to-day really goes through smoothly. Again, gardens take time, much with the cultivation of anything. It takes time, it takes diligence, and it takes standing out in the hot sun. Oftentimes that's not the fun thing to do, but these two have done it very, very well, and so I thank them for that.
We have been in this garden for most of the summer. I came here a week after Terry did, but it's one of the most beneficial things I've ever worked in. I've come here and I've just learned something new every day.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that everybody decided to make something for the community, to start something, to actually be able to have something tangible at the end, which is really cool.
Okay, so in our garden, there's a bunch of different vegetables. The kids love all the vegetables. Everybody just can't help but to love it. On this side, there's a bunch of cucumbers. They come in almost every week. And then there's cherry tomatoes and herbs like thyme, rosemary, oregano, and tons of basil. Basil's everywhere. It's on that side, it's in the middle, it's on the back, it's everywhere. It's out of control. Then there's cherry tomatoes, and then in front of it there's pickling cucumbers. They're kind of like a regular cucumber, but they're whiter and smaller and stouter. And then there's bell peppers, green beans.
There's also eggplants and more basil down that aisle. And then there's cherry tomatoes, and we also have regular sized tomatoes. A couple weeks ago, we just picked our first red tomato of the season. And we have decorative corn growing also, which means you can't eat it. And we have long pies. And long pies are actually a green overgrown zucchini, which they're originated in Portugal, and we have 2 seeds growing, and they're supposed to turn orange, and then they can be used in pies. And we actually picked one before it turned orange, and we have it at the warming house under a cupboard so that it can turn orange, because in storage they turn orange and then you can use them in pies.
And our project manager, Chance Perkins, brought those seeds from Portugal for us. So we were very lucky to have those in our garden. So I thank you.
Thank you very much, girls. Very nice. So this pretty much closes our presentation here, but just a few more words about empowerment. I think you're getting a sense that this is a whole lot more than growing a garden. You're seeing a physical manifestation behind us, but as Chance said, we're growing children who are learning gardening skills, they're learning about community and empowerment to move forward and keep this going. So on that note, we'd like the children to come up and present Mayor Mitchell with some of the harvest.
Wow, fantastic. I can eat all this?
Sure, for lunch.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, guys. Nice work. Very good job.
Very
nice work.
Thank you. All right, so.
Wow, so I'm not going to have potato chips today.
No chips for you. No Mountain Dew either.
No Mountain. Oh, yeah. You've been keeping an eye on me.
Yeah, I've been watching you. So again, thank you for everyone for coming today. We certainly appreciate the support of the city, Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Foundation, and all our partners, UMass Dartmouth, and so on. We now have a little presentation. It's a 4-minute video to show, and refreshments at the warming house if you'd like to walk over with us. And stay tuned, because you're going to be seeing these videos on YouTube and so on, but also stay tuned for hopefully the expansion of this pilot project and more projects in the city of New Bedford. Massive Motion's slogan is New Bedford is on the move, and I think you saw it today. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks,
So, April.
Yeah?
You know your charger's still using energy when it's plugged into the wall, right?
Yeah, but that's not my charger. I don't even have a cell phone.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse?